Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to what is, I don't know, Arena Scuffgate. And I thought I'd do like a kind of final update video to this situation. It's been very frustrating over the last 24 hours to see this new arena be put in, and especially like the damage that it's done to a lot of grind elements. Whether or not you're higher up and going, okay, this is actually fine, I'm cool with it, or a lot lower, I'm kind of going like, damn, my roster isn't good enough to kind of stimulate a quick growth of the points required to get the milestones. And I wanted to do an update video that kind of looked at something that I did yesterday, what everyone's feeling, a command listening, other stuff like that. So the first thing I want to do is just update something from yesterday. Something that I missed off is that because of these new arenas, I will be able to use 6 stars in them. So therefore my grind would be evidently better. But I still wanted to find out, since that video, if I did the sums and kind of said, Rich, if you put in an extra 2.9 mil based on those 6 stars, would you come close to what you would have earlier or before when I had the old arenas? So against the old arenas, I did, as I said, 270 units, 30,000 battle chips. That's what I got. Under the new scheme, I would have to put in 8.4. If I put 8.4 mil in and spread that across the Summoner Trials and one of the others, the basic or the featured, I would get 230 units and 29,250 battle chips, which still requires me to use those 6 stars. But at the same time, I can't 100% guarantee that I'd be able to with those 6 stars. And again, this is the crucial point, for the time of grind, pick myself up the additional 2.9 mil. I want to say in some kind of reality that is correct. It may be a case it would be a little bit less, it may be a little bit more, or it may be completely far out. The kind of the point around this is going like, right, well, I'm having to adapt, and if I'm adapting, how am I managing to get what I had before for the minimal amount of effort? Because that's the key thing. It's like quality of life. Now I don't know if Kabams see that or see the element of quality of life and kind of going like, right, well, if you'll build, you've forcibly got to build your infinite streaks, and as well you've got to negotiate around death matches and stuff within arena in order to acquire the same amount of similar. The point is, these milestones are they are annoying, and that's really the point with it. So it's not just me, by the way. It's not just me having any kind of like issue with it. There's a lot of people out there, people that made this fundamentally the easiest point of their week would be to gather units by doing different types of methods of grind. And at times like these, I normally go to, and we've done like guides in the past where we've referenced people and their unit processes of grind. Now I've got on screen now Corey Guns. If you don't remember, Corey has been doing a lot when it comes to like processes. He grinds out an extensive amount of units on a weekly basis, and we'll do things like, and I believe he's free to play, we'll go for things like July 4th and Cyber Weekend. And he responded to like something that I put up like here, saying, and his process is based on this here: an hour and a half of a day grind. Strategy is dead. Me doing the same amount of time, only using 5 stars to get the streak going, then only running the whole 6-star roster versus just rank 3 to 6 stars. Like the old strategy had already seen units taking an L. Biggest problem, units being less in beginning and more higher end, never get all milestones and featured. Well, not for the most 2 years. We're taking a hit doing the same grind. Milestones 1 to 10 should have been increased 1s to 20, and the final one's less for people who want to waste their time. And that's just really talking about the process of if you're going for the competitive elements of the grind. And that's the point. Most of the people that are coming up with suggestions, I think, all agree on the extent of the change being in the milestones. I think we all can agree we like the concept of the lower amount of arenas, although that kind of like is a bit of a not slightly hypocritical, but this month we're going to have another arena drop, aren't we? We're going to have the champion vote one, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arenas. So that kind of goes back to the same situation as we had before, but in any given time that doesn't have a special kind of arena, we'd have 3 now. And I've got nothing against that. There's some stuff within this that are a little bit of a problem. The acquisition of the 3-star which now the acquisition of the 3-star, for anybody in this situation, is going to be on milestone number, what's that, 8? 8, God. It's worse than I thought. 6.250 mil, like 6,250,000 mil is, it's just like, it's not good. I've got no problem with the 4-star version featured being in the 9 mil. I think that's absolutely fine. Got nothing against that. And that's the point. The latter points here are the milestones when they get, yes, okay, so the further you go down in the milestones, the more units that it is. And that's a very simple process change. You know, just put the higher units at the start. And you might be thinking, oh, well, you know, does that go against like Kabam's philosophy if by putting the more heftier units first with the lower units at the back? Well, no. Like, here's the thing: the more time you get towards the end of the milestone number, that's at the point where you get into the competitive areas. It helps quality of life. It can be really that could be really effective. That works. And that's just a subtle change. I don't think Kabam have to do very much to that. Just change the numbers of the units to be more at the front and less at the back. That means that the process between my issues, which is doing the, as we said, doing the 8.4 mil, less of a chore. It may even put a situation of making 5.5 mil or kind of like quickly blasting through my 6-stars better. It's not adding any more new units to the milestone, so it doesn't kind of like outweigh the problems that Kabam have, but at least kind of like puts it to the front. Also, you know, the only other change that would be with the Summoner Trial, because the Summoner Trial only has 7 units at a time, but as well you have to go 2 mil deep in order to grab it. So that's really the thing. That's going to be up to Kabam to make those kind of alterations and changes. There are some really good suggestions out there, but also there's some kind of like really far out and wacky ones. I think today I saw something where somebody was saying like they should buff the Grandmaster Crystals shards. They should add more units to the, or more unit RNG to the Arena Crystals. And it's like, well, that stuff's great and I like it, but at the same time that completely breaks this game from a point of meta. And from what I gather, the financial performance for Marvel Contest of Champions this year in Q1 wasn't too good. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to try and make some, or kind of like make this game go as long as possible. But I hope this isn't the last year that we have Marvel Contest of Champions. Although Marvel Future Revolution is just around the corner, and it's not the good time to have a problem when it comes to grinding out units, free-to-play grind, and that's the thing. If it's kind of like a point of it's things are upsetting everybody, then it's like, not too good. Now, I'm not going to make multiple videos on this particular situation. The next time I'll probably make a video is when Kabam have made a decision on matters and taking it from there. Because, yeah, they just need to make a decision on this because it's not good for players. There's going to be, as I said, a small amount of people that'll be fine with this and it won't be too much of an issue. But there will be people that this will be an issue for, and it's going to be a majority rather than a minority on this. If you want a good write-up of the situation, DNA 3000 has got you covered, and a lot of people have definitely given this, you know, a read, so it's worth checking out. He comes to a conclusion that from the analysis, the numbers, that if you're a large roster grinder, things may have gotten temporarily worse for you. If you are a heavy unit grinder, but you're going to be fine for the long run. If you're a moderate grinder with an intermediate roster, you'll probably hit very hard with the arena changes. I think I consider myself that. I don't have an extensive 6-star roster, so I kind of feel like I might be there. And there's no real competition in terms of rewards in arena, at least not in a short intermediate term. It could be years before you catch up, which is far too long for an update that should not be hitting anyone hard. Command Mickey implied that these impacts were unintentional, so that's good. I'll just read that really, just to kind of like get a flavour. I'm curious. We did cover this particular one here, so as I said, I can imagine Kabam are taking these particular bits of feedback incredibly seriously. So hopefully Kabam will take note of the problems with unit grinding in the updated arenas and find ways to return unit grinding in the arenas to something similar to what it used to be for some moderate middle of the road players who probably represent a higher percentage of arena grinders. That's true. That is true. I'm in a very weird camp because I will spend on the game. I won't excessively spend on the game, but I'll spend enough once in a while. You know, as I said, I do believe in keeping the game going, and there are players in this community that pay money and those that are free to play, and it's good to have a balance between both. And as I said, you know, you look at other games. Marvel Future Fight is on its last legs, hence why they're doing a new and better game. You've got Marvel Battle Lines, which got kind of like chopped because it's on its ass. You've got other games that are just built up by a community that spend money on it, and that's the thing. Like, some communities keep games going because it has paying players, and Marvel Contest of Champions is a breaking of the boundaries because it is a mobile game that's survived exponentially longer than any other mobile game out there. Apart from some, you know, some of the other things like Clash and kind of like Candy Crush and other kind of rubbish, not rubbish, but kind of like, you know, kooky and out there games. But it's still good to have a balance between people that spend and people that don't. And that's the thing. It's just keeping everyone happy. And I think Kabam need to do this, need to act on this, reassure unit grinders that this can be facilitated, it can be improved, so it can facilitate them. And I think that will happen either in the next 48 to 72 hours, or it will be next week once kind of like, I think the dust has settled and Kabam have looked at the data. But I think it's going to be a big wake-up call. They need to act on this now. But in any case, that's been the video. Thank you very much for watching. I thought I'd do a quick follow-up video and just kind of like, you know, tell you where I'm at, how I'm adapting, which isn't great. I'm not particularly happy about it, but it is what it is until Kabam answer against those questions. What are your thoughts still on Arena? Are you still waiting to hear what Kabam are going to say about responding to this? Thoughts in the comment section. Have a good weekend. There may be one other video posted today. I should be live streaming later on, and look forward to seeing you there. Have a good one.